breaking news. Tonight, a second cash-strapped Rhode Island city is facing state intervention.
This afternoon, Governor Chafee appointed a fiscal overseer to help steer East Providence out of debt. It is a story we first broke on WPRI.com last week, and today the speculation became official. Unlike the state's unprecedented receivership of bankrupt Central Falls last year, East Providence leaders say they welcome Rhode Island's help in closing a $7 million deficit. Eyewitness News reporter Walt Buteau has been on top of the story all day long. He joins us now live from City Hall with the breaking developments.
And that was a deficit piled up over a number of years, according to the mayor of East Providence. Now this fiscal overseer and the city will team up for a 5-year plan that will hopefully put East Providence back into financial health. Every department, from schools to public works, is expected to comb through their budgets, and State Police Major Stephen Bannon will oversee how they spend the taxpayers' money.
I'm just can assure them I'm here to help and collaborate on this issue, and we're going to need all of us to work together to resolve it.
Major power of the fiscal overseer is to make a recommendation at the end of the 120 days as to whether or not he or she believes that this city can bring itself back.
One crisis avoided this morning involves special education provided by Bradley Hospital at a cost of $350,000 a month. The city owes the Lifespan nonprofit $5 million. A morning meeting worked out an agreement to continue the services, but parents are still concerned.
It would be a disaster for all these kids in Bradley.
Are you relieved now to hear this?
No, I want to see it etched in stone first before, I don't really trust what they say.
Up next, difficult decisions that leaders here say could involve layoffs and/or higher taxes.
I'm sure this is going to be one of the considerations for the council. There's a host of options that the council will consider.
I don't think I'm going to comment on whether they're not raising enough revenue or whether they're spending too much. I think that's really up to the elected officials and the taxpayers to decide that when they go to the polls.
Coming up tonight at 6, the governor weighs in on the other cities in Rhode Island facing similar problems. Live at the Providence Mobile Newsroom in East Providence, Walt Buteau, Eyewitness News.
WPRI.com was the first place you heard about the state's intervention in East Providence, and that's where you can find in-depth coverage of this breaking story.
You can read Ted Nesi's in-depth report detailing the scope of East Providence's budget woes by clicking on the Developing Story tab at the top of our homepage.